wild, bro.
Here we go.
The show, like,
We all good. Everybody good? You good?
I'm good.
You good? You good?
yes, sir.
Everybody
You
good?
straight?
You good?
And mom, I'm good.
Yeah. Mom's good.
Mom's good.
Mom's
All
good.
right.
Mom's good.
Mom's doing better.
Mom's doing better. I like
All
to hear that. Yeah,
Mom's
mom's
doing
good. All right. Yeah, Pops, you're a little crazy.
Mom's is watching the show, bro.
Everybody good?
Hey, everybody's good. They got,
Yeah,
a little,
we
they got a
good.
little sickness, but they good.
How about we do a show, boys?
Just
All
let's
right.
do it.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the squad in the building.
Yeah.
As always, man, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid. The man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don in the building. And Mr. Drew Better, if you knew better, you do better. Say, who better?
Nobody, bro.
We got a lot to get into. Whole offseason plans just shifted in one place. I said shifted. SHIFTED. Brought to you by Blue Chew. My bad. No,
That's perfect.
got a lot to get into on today's episode. As Trey Smith now off the market, where do we think the Chicago Bears pivot to? What is going to be the focus of this offseason? When it felt like Trey Smith probably would have been the focus of this offseason. You also got to take a look at, listen, we got a couple of teams in this town. And I know we don't like it all the time. But Josh Giddey may be getting $30 million. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that before we get out of here. And finally, we want to take a look at this team as a whole, taking a look at this Bears team and really the head coach, the GM, we've heard so much from them. Did they instill any more confidence in you? Did they build your faith in this team? Did they make you feel like this is going to be the offseason when it finally gets right? We'll talk about all that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, what's going on? Everybody good?
It's a sad day in Chicagoland.
It's a sad day?
It's a sad day.
I don't know if it's that
It's
sad.
not sad.
It's a sad day.
It's not sad.
You want to know why?
It's a pivot.
Because the one name that you learned at guard is now off the market?
Oh, no, I know a lot of people at guard. I'm going to flex that know-how today, baby. We're going to have a show today.
Give me 5 guards right now.
Hey, right now we're going to talk about...
No!
I mean, hey, listen, Freeze is about to come across this screen, baby. But no.
Fries, baby. Fries.
Fries? I think Freeze sound better.
I don't know. Put the fries in the bag.
Put the fries in the bag.
Put the fries in the bag. We'll fry.
But it's a tough day because a lot of Chicagoans really felt like if you didn't get him, it was the end of the world. And unfortunately,
Bro, I did see that.
That's crazy.
That is nuts to me. Bugs were literally losing their minds that the Bears didn't get him. People were like, Poles misses again. I was like, well, he didn't even get to take a swing, realistically.
How does he miss on something he can't even participate in? What are we talking about?
If that's Mahomes' guy, what makes you think he's going to let him walk out the door?
He's not walking out
Like-
the door.
No, you're going to franchise tag that guy.
That was interesting.
I just saw Pat Mahomes struggle in the Super Bowl. You think
Like-
he's going to let go of his best
Yeah,
guard?
like-
Stop. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Nah.
It was interesting, but let's talk about that because you got to talk about it and yet again, SHIFT, the shift that we think the Chicago Bears will take this offseason because realistically, right now, right, the focus is on the trenches. And I want to start the conversation here. Are you more focused on the draft or are you more focused still on free agency? Because to me, when I hear my head coach talk about things like you have to win and win now, we're going to win and win now, that to me is free agency.
Yep.
That means you're trying to go out and you're trying to find veterans now. You're trying to find pieces that can help the team right now that you don't have to worry about, hey, does this guy know how to do this job? Is he going to be able to play this position? Do we need to switch him from the left side to the right side? Is he going to be able to adjust to a new quarterback? How's he going to play with the mobile quarterback? All these questions that you have to ask with rookie draft picks that you still need to go out there and get, by the way. But I do think that you have to really ask the question on what is going to be the biggest emphasis of trying to build these trenches up. Do you think it's going to be free agency? Do you think it's going to be the draft?
personally, I think it's going to be free agency for two reasons. One, the biggest need that we had, and it's a good video that you put out when the news broke on Trey Smith, was, hey, Trey Smith was great. That's a good thing, but we need a center.
Yeah.
And a rookie center is not going to be able to come in and do exactly what we need him to do. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that everything is going to go well with Dom and there's going to be somewhat of a learning curve, but that's a professional who's been here, who's up to speed.
He's also a dog.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's also a dog.
And you need that. And so, to me, I looked at Trey Smith, the whole Trey Smith thing, as, hey, this gives Chicago so many more opportunities now, because we were all so fixated, and rightfully so. It's a big name. You want that name on your team. Let's be clear. But now we have to consider how many different areas we could address, how much more money now we have, because I think Trey would have came in more than what the franchise tag was. The franchise tag was 23.9. Yeah, you
probably franchise tag just about 24. You're probably paying Trey minimum 25.
So minimum, and they said that they were far apart on that number. Realistically,
he might crack the guard market might be getting set heavy this year.
Yeah, he gonna get the bag. So it's like, listen, look at all the things that you now open yourself up to when we talk about some of these other free guards and free agency. I know we're gonna go down the list, let everyone speak on it, but like, there's some guards in free agency that's worked with Ben Johnson. Even as recently, there's some even for the Rams have allowed to trade. We'll talk about him in a second as well. Like, there's some people who have some experience with Ben Johnson that I think could be able to come in and have an impact in a 1-year turnaround for this offensive line that I think we now have the money to go get and the access to do as well. So I'm a free agency guy when it comes to that.
What's your feeling right now, Drew?
You know, I'm upset, but I think we can pivot and pivot well. There are, like you said, is some guards that are still in the market that will be coming in the market, or this available for trade that, you know, can be as equal as him. Yeah, that Smith was the guy that we wanted, but at the same time, it's you know, like I said, it's a pivot point. You know, it's a pivot point. Like it's a guy in the Jags that I like that was Piff. Only had him a couple spots below that we can still work with. You know, so I think that, you know, I'm heartbroken, but I think we can still make adequate decisions. And I think it's a 50-50 split between free agency and draft to still fix the offensive line.
It's so funny, right? Because to me, now I think people are going, well, where do you go get the next guard at? I'm on a whole different position pivot. If we being real.
Okay.
My number one,
you on the line?
Number still on the line. Well, first off, y'all know I'm taking everybody on the line. Who's available? Give me Myles Garrett. That's where I'm starting at.
So both trenches, not just offense.
Absolutely. I'm all in. I'm spending money, baby. We got the money to spend.
Now we got the money.
Hey, you want to know what good teams don't have?
Money to spend.
Money. You want to know why Kansas City is struggling to find ways to pay Trey Smith?
Because they ain't
got no money. You want to know why? Because they going to the Super Bowl every goddamn year.
But they spent it already. You know, they spent it on what's a boy name on the defense?
Chris
line.
Jones.
Chris Jones.
Yeah, Chris Jones got the bag.
Right, and they spent.
Yeah, Travis coming back.
The linebacker
got the linebacker. Yeah, you got Pat Mahomes.
You got Mahomes making $450.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, hey, you want to know why they ain't got no money? Because they in the Super Bowl every goddamn year. That's all I'm saying, bro. No. Realistically, though, to me, I'm going position change because I was going for Trey Smith because Trey Smith was the elite of the elite.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, true.
When you talk about the guards that are left, Mekhi Becton is a really, really good guard. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I do think you have to have a conversation on Mekhi Becton around, is he kind of getting the, and I don't know why I'm blanking, Alex Leatherwood a treatment a little bit here, right? Was he dominant because you got plugged into an offensive line that was already dominant without you. And they basically told you, you see that dude in front of you, hit him. If you hit him, we going to hit them. We going to be good. Everybody's going to be good together. I think that is a conversation that does scare me a little bit about Mekhi Becton. I think he will get the money, but I don't know if that's the route I want to go. For me, now my mind goes, okay, you missed out on Trey Smith, 110% lock in Drew Dalman.
110%.
110%. You have to lock in Drew Dalman.
Agreed.
On top of that, now I'm looking at some of the left tackles that's on the market. Okay. Because when I'm going there, when I'm going positional rankings, right? When I'm saying, okay, Trey Smith was an exceptional guard.
Yes.
But if I'm gonna spend $25 million, realistically, I didn't want to spend it on a guard. That's where I started at. I literally was like, "You spending that much money on a guard? You got it. You kind of got to." You tell me Ronnie Stanley's out there, and we have heard that let me pull up who had said it. Scott Engel predicted that the Bears would pursue Ronnie Stanley, a two-time Pro Bowler, this offseason. That's a name that I think is interesting at the left tackle position. Would love to see him there. I know he knows how to work with a mobile quarterback already because he has to deal with, which when I say that right, I can block perfectly and you could take off running.
And it screws everything.
And now my perfect block may be a hole because I got to make sure that you still protect it, right? So he knows how to deal with a mobile quarterback already. I think that, with that kind of situation, if I've got center locked up, and I'm not saying you get Ronnie Stanley, but I'd make a run at him. If I got left tackle locked up and I got right tackle locked up, which I think Darnell Wright is decent locking that up.
Okay.
I can deal with one of my guards being a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And I can deal with one of my guards being, if it's Matt Pryor sticking around, I guess
his injury.
I'm out on Tevin Jenkins.
His injury history doesn't scare you?
Matt Pryor?
No. Stanley's.
Ronnie Stanley's injury history,
because he was healthy last year, but the previous years he was.
He's been up and down injury wise. But I think that a lot of them, at least the two I remember, are offensive line injuries. What I mean, like, it's not a non-contact. It's like, oh, I got rolled up on. It's things you really can't do as much about. Right? The injuries we give Tevin Jenkins flack on isn't the one where Coleman Shelton rolls into him and just gets blown off his man.
Yeah. Like the ankle and everything.
You know what I mean? Like those are the things where it's like, okay, that's tough that's just gonna happen. That's football. I can't really do much about that. I also don't think there's been any long-term ligament damage with Ronnie Stanley. I may be wrong on that. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But to me, like Stanley, I don't know why I keep thinking Staley the Bear. That's not that man's name. No, I also keep thinking Brandon Staley. Ronnie Stanley.
Ronnie Stanley. Yeah.
But to me, I think if you lock up center, you lock up left tackle, you lock up right tackle, you can kind of do what you want with the guards. Go get a Zeitler, like you said, right? Go get a Tyler Booker.
No, I like Sheriff. Though. I think his name is Sheriff.
I like Brandon Sheriff.
Brandon. I like Sheriff.
Even though Zeitler's play with Ben Johnson.
Yeah. So
I mean there's that familiarity there. I like Makari. Makari's got both. He's
ACLs.
I mean he's got.
Hey, that's saying a lot.
Hey, says a lot. He's got both ACLs, but he's also played with a mobile quarterback.
Yes.
He's got 500 snaps at both tackle positions as well. So that'll be a name to look into. I think what they're gonna wind up doing primarily, or what I would do, is pretty much go through free agency. I know me and you had to talk before the show started. I think basically the first 5 picks is locked up.
Yeah.
I think Campbell's gonna be gone. I could see Banks possibly being there, but I think the route that they're gonna probably do is go through free agency.
If I could throw this one thing in, I saw this and it was in regards to a name. And going back to familiarity, Jonah Jackson was granted permission to seek a trade yesterday.
Yeah, he just got permission to seek a trade.
He just got permission to seek a trade. Didn't play a whole lot because of an injury. He was placed on IR, and he ends up being an odd man out in what the Rams got going on. Doesn't mean that he was bad, but he also had a year with Ben Johnson. How do you feel about that potential? Because that's a trade situation. He's 3 years, $51 million. So whatever that breaks down, however that breaks down, it may not be even all the way, but like, how do you feel about that potential there?
What scares me about that is why.
Drum roll.
Oh, my bad. I guess I do got the whole thing. I got to figure out Joel's labeling on this.
That
Hold
man, on. Listen.
10.
Hey.
At least you got it right.
Why? Why is he available? That's my question. You know what I mean? Like the Rams. First off, it seems like they're going full new quarterback, and they got to listen. They got to adjust some money things.
I heard Aaron Rodgers.
That'd be gross. They got to adjust. They got to adjust some things money wise, right? They have to reset their cap because of a lot of the things that they kick down the road, kick the can down the road as far as they can. They kind of had a bounce back year, but realistically, you got to move on from Stafford. 36. How old is Stafford?
37.
Jesus.
He'd be 37. I think.
He there.
And he finna command a bag.
No,
Oh, yeah.
not bad. Just 50
Oh,
million.
No,
Just
no,
50
no,
million.
not-
He's 150.
Not just he's up there.
Yeah,
No,
no. You
Why
talking
do you
about
say
you
just
talking about
50?
50.
Well,
Yeah,
50
M's a year.
Right now he only getting paid 25. So yeah, he want and
No,
the
no,
going
no,
rate is
I
50.
get you. Who finna pay him 50? I
A
tell
lot
you
of people-
who.
a lot
The
of
New
people-
York Giants.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what.
no,
Hey,
a lot of
come
people-
on down.
No, a lot of people. He's rumored to go to the Giants,
Yeah.
the Raiders,
Yeah.
Which,
The Jets.
the Jets.
I'm actually not mad at it because I think if we get Stafford, Neighbors, and Hunter with Tracy in the backfield,
That's gonna go tough.
I'm
it's
Hey, you finna get that
is-
Colts Phillip Rivers.
it's gonna be tough, but he throws a better ball than no kill
You
Phil.
finna get that Colts Phillip Rivers.
He
dog.
throws a better ball than no kill Phil.
But to me, like my big question with Jonah Jackson, like you brought up, is why are they moving on? Is it just the money or is it the play? Didn't have a great season last year. Didn't have a terrible season. And again, right,
Only
you're
played
trading
4 games.
you're trading for a guard.
LA had a good.
I think
line.
They
without
had a
him,
good
though.
line. That's
They had
what
a
it
good
is.
line without
He's
him.
an
He's
odd
expendable.
man out.
He's expendable.
They signed him before he was injured. So like they had a future plan for him.
I'll say this. It also depends on what it costs. What are we talking about trading? You know what I mean? If we're
True.
talking about,
I don't want to give up my trade.
He has a base
if
salary.
we're talking about anything over a 4th round pick,
Yeah.
He has a base
I
salary
think-
of $9 million for 2025,
which is fine.
which is fine. And then I don't think you're getting more than a 4 for him at this particular point. He doesn't have enough tape for the previous year.
But see, in that situation, right, to me, and I think the thing about Jonah Jackson, be better run blocker than a pass blocker, but a very efficient run blocker. Would love to see him next to Darnell Wright on that right side.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, listen,
Yeah.
I get tingly.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I get tingly with.
I
a
get
good guard
tingly
over
with
there.
anybody good at run blocking that way because Darnell
Exactly.
Wright be killing people.
He's good. He's good to run.
It's the only. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the only thing that, like, if Tevin Jenkins got re-signed, I'd be like, man, just put him over there, please. Just put him over
on the
there.
right side.
Put him over there. At least let me see it one more time. Let me. It's better to have loved and lost.
It was wonderful when he
dangerous.
was over there.
It was
wonderful.
dangerous. But I think the big question about that situation, are you more willing to trade for a guard than just go out and try and draft somebody like Tyler Booker in the 2nd round, later in the 1st round if you need to package picks to get there, or even if you just be real with you, right? And this is the part that's always funny about the whole draft process. If you get it right, no one beefs. If you think Tyler Booker is a guard of the future and you take him at 10,
Ooh, that's high.
very high,
That's
extremely high.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
I'm out at that.
I wouldn't do it. No,
I'm
but
sorry.
here's the conversation I'm having.
I know what you about to
5 years down the line, when we about to pay Tyler Booker because he's an elite guard, do you care
No.
that he was drafted 10th overall?
Winning
Nah.
cures off. He does. If he comes in, he's a stud.
And
no
I
one cares
think
about him.
here's the conversation for that is always look at the people who have been drafted after great players that are still great players. You don't care.
I will say this because I did want to mention this about Mekhi Becton. That first year when he was with New York, he had a really great year. The second year, he actually wound up tearing his ACL. He hasn't. The thing is, we've now seen him like when he hasn't had anybody and he's done a decent job, but then now he gets to the Eagles and you got
And he's phenomenal.
Dickerson, Mailata. If the Bears actually wind up do taking a flyer on him and he gets that help, kind of around what we said with Darnell Wright as well with I forget Buddy's name. Didn't want to practice or wanted to
Nate
practice,
Davis.
but
Nate Davis.
Nate
Davis.
Davis. Nate Davis.
Not them Davises. They just
some of them Davises, bro.
not on the field of the court.
Hey man, not on the field of the court, but if he gets that consistency, what that does for them, I would kind of like to see that. He's still relatively young. I don't know. They might be able to do some things. I'm excited.
I think that honestly that Becton looks so good because the Eagles line is just that good.
Could be.
Yeah,
Just that good.
Could be.
Because you had to swing all your players on the defense. They were one-on-one. Eagles line was handling the guys one-on-one. So basically, you only had to deal with your one guy. You didn't have to deal with the,
Make up for
the
the lack
delayed
of-
rush.
Yeah,
You didn't have to deal with the stunts because the Eagles defense, Eagles offensive line was just that good. So the defense basically only had one guy that you do. So I think Mekhi Becton, yes, he's good. He was definitely talented. That's why he was taken so high with the Jets. But I think he was a product of his environment. You put him on the island by himself, and I'm not sure he's gonna be as great.
But we seen him by that first year though. We seen him by himself.
He was great.
He was elite. He tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So even though we got the 1 year of it,
but I don't mean he back though.
Well, I think you got an opportunity to ease your way back in, right? You go from having your rookie year, you tore your ACL, he had a bad year after that, and then he was with Philly.
But he wasn't even Philly with the whole year because didn't they sign him after their original guard got hurt?
That's training camp though.
So was in training camp. But I don't think he played the whole year though.
No, he played the whole year with Philly. Did he? Yeah, he played.
I thought he was a late signing, but it could be. It could be. But
I might be wrong. I thought he got signed in training camp. I thought he was a training camp signing. Because he was one of the names that I was like, okay, listen, we don't have we don't have any offensive linemen, guys. We might need to sign some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was coming off the injury, and he wasn't the same after the injury. So that's what I say. Is he back to that?
Actually,
all-pro?
No, he was a training camp signing because I remember saying you need to sign a guard, and everybody yelling at me saying we got Ryan Bates.
Hey man, listen, why you gotta live in the past?
No, I'm not letting none of that go, bro.
Listen.
I spent all training camp going, hey, bro, I think these guys suck.
Hey man, watch this, and this is how you pivot. I think that Patrick McCarthy guy, though, just pivoting off of that. Right?
15 games.
15 games.
15.
But so he was there the whole season. Yeah. I think he got banged up a couple of. I like Frank Nitti. First off, on the anniversary of Denzel Valentine. Just being Denzel Valentine, right? Great name with Frank Nitti. I also like him saying, don't be a Packer. Smash the like button. Hit that like button. Don't be a Packer, man. Don't be a Packer. Don't floose this up.
I think the best thing about this is you talk about what Ben Johnson has said and the confidence. We're going to get into that conversation.
Yeah.
What does Ben Johnson really want on this line? What is he looking for? Now, the thing that shocks me is run blocking, right?
That Ringo game plan.
Hey, the Ringo game
plan. So realistically, the shiny toy, and I hate to say it like that, but you get what I'm saying. And Trey Smith not being there opens this up for a Patrick McCarthy who's little to nothing. Costs little to nothing. You probably sign up for little to nothing. But guess what? Like you said, worked with a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
One thing he can do is run block.
He can run block.
And all those things.
That's all they do.
That's all they do. Because he's a running back. Anyway, I try not to say it. It opens that up. What does Ben Johnson want? Does he value the best player that could potentially fit his system, or does he value familiarity with some of these players? Because there's 2-3 people who've played with them, that's worked with them.
Yeah.
How does he value them? Are they top? And they don't come at a premium. You could probably sign 2 of them for the same amount that you would have signed Trey Smith for.
Listen, if you can find a value piece, you're never mad at that, right? But the thing I said this morning, right? If you can go for one of the best guys on the market, why not get him? And somebody commented back, was like, well, what if he misses? If he misses, now you've invested all this money in this guy and he's a miss and you're not getting the best value out of him. And so, now you've put yourself in a hole. And my mindset is, well, what if he hits?
No, you can't think of.
If you got Drew Dolman and you got Ronnie Stanley,
you can't think
and they hit.
Yeah.
Right.
You got a championship level offensive line.
And actually, to go back to your point about what does he value, I think he values the work.
Mm-hmm.
I think he values the work.
He valued the dirty work too. When that mug said
405,
no block, no rock.
Yeah. Bro, I'm
when he said no block, no rock.
I'm trying to tell you.
When he said that to me, that put a whole nother spin on everything.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I had my Ben Johnson on the table.
But
yes, sir.
My Johnson had been on the table.
Hey, but listen though. If you look at the team and the makeup of the team, everybody on Detroit blocks.
Everybody.
I'm around
St. Brown to block you through the bench. I said
Jamison Williams blocks. Tim Patrick came in halfway through the Tim Patrick blocked.
That's all he did.
Like he valued the work. If you're not finna put in the work, he's not gonna put you out there.
Yeah.
Because if you're not giving 110%, I can't. Not only are you letting me down, you letting the team down. So
No,
But
100%.
does that give you more confidence in knowing that you have a coach that accountability is a big thing? That whoever we put out there on the field,
he said that at the
Yeah,
he
it
said
changes
that
the
at the
locker room
beginning of the
culture.
year.
we've heard this before.
It changes the locker room culture when you got somebody that's as a your leader of men, as they say,
Ugh,
and he makes
that.
I love that
everybody-
he said, I
makes
hate
every-
all of them terms.
I know,
Yeah.
but he makes
He
them
said, am I a
accountable.
good football coach or not? I was like,
Yeah, I
Thank
like that guy.
I know, but
Go
if
ahead.
you make them accountable,
Yeah.
then that changes the whole locker room dynamic. That makes DJ Moore stop pouting and not cutting off his routes when he gets upset. It makes everybody like, if you want the ball, you want these stats, you want this money, you gotta buy in.
So as opposed to the Ryan Poles situation, we crowned him King Poles, rookie GM, all that stuff. We do have people with pedigree here. We do have people who garnered respect. Even if Ben Johnson has a new head coach, his entire staff. There's a lot of experience on this staff,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
There's a
I
ton
love
of
how he
experience
built
on
it.
this staff,
I love how
right?
he
So
built
we
it.
know that we're not going to put
This the
BS on the
monster
field.
coaches, bro.
Oh yeah, we know we're not going to put BS on the field.
MON.
Is this one of those situations?
Ain't no gonna be more of those Tariq Stevenson yelling at the crowd.
Oh,
Ain't
nah.
gonna be none of that no more.
Hey, they probably walked in and said, "You ain't doing that no more."
No.
Man, listen, don't
No
you even
more.
think about that. Hey,
Hey,
listen,
no,
I see you even
no,
look that way to
no
the
more.
crowd. You on a
No
bitch,
more.
little boy.
Hey, look, Reek's still on the rookie deal. Hey, bro, you want to get cut?
I'll cut you, my boy. But the question is now, knowing who we have and knowing the training staff and all that stuff, whoever they put out there, would you have confidence knowing that you got the best people to train them up now? Because we may not get none of these guys.
I think it's what I've continued to say, right? Is you have to be able to have guys in the building that have the skins on their wall to see the history of it. There was a lot of question marks, right? Shane Waldron, while we thought he was the guy, I think he was the most experienced guy
OC
as far as developing someone.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. And I don't even know if he developed them at this point. I think all of us are just like, well, Gino just kind of did it himself. We keep trying to put the blame, trying to contribute it to somebody else. But like
we attribute
everybody
Russ here to him.
else,
He had a good year with Russ.
he did have a good year
He
with
had a
Russ.
good year with Russ.
But I think the thing is, right, everybody else is, when you look at that flu staff, it's just,
what do we
they were
have?
people trying to figure themselves out. They were
Yeah,
people
yeah.
trying to figure out, okay, how am I
It's rookie
as this
staff.
coach? How do I
It's
add
rookie
to this?
staff.
What do I come in with that as outside of Eric Washington, which Eric Washington, I don't know what he did. I don't know. Listen, I'll say this, and I like Coach Washington a lot. I really liked Coach Washington as a person. But Montez talked about in training camp, he spent the most time with the defensive line room. You ain't really do a lot with that defensive line room. You know what I mean?
He didn't because he.
And whatever you did made them worse at run blocking.
I know, because what's our boy name that we was supposed to develop, the
Austin
forefront?
Booker.
Austin Booker. He got in, he showed a little bit, but they never used him in situations to even use the talent that he did have undeveloped.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Austin got on the field a little bit more than I actually thought he was going to get on the field this season, but you still got to be able to make plays. You still got to get the most out of guys. You got to develop them. And when I look at this coaching staff, right, and we could do this the second time, but we ain't in no order here. I think that I said this before, my confidence in Ben Johnson does not come from Ben Johnson, even though how he spoke this weekend made me feel like, oh, this moment ain't too big for him. This is not he's
prepared for this joint.
Yeah, I'm over preparing for this.
Yeah.
This is not the moment's too big. You're not going to get me in an interview to say something stupid. You're not going to get me in an interview to say something where you feel uncomfortable or you feel like, oh, I don't know what this is. And it's just words. It don't matter till you get on the field, right? But like,
and he's running to these interviews.
Well, listen, I think they running him to the interviews. He the hot name. You gonna get run to the interviews, and
he handling them though.
And you're the head coach of the Chicago Bears. The thing for me though that builds confidence in Ben Johnson is, look, I know Ben Johnson can call plays. I know Antoine Randall can develop wide receivers. I know Eric Bieniemy can develop running backs. I know that Al Harris can develop DBs. I know that Dan Rashad can develop offensive line.
You give me tingles.
I know that Jarvis.
I'm getting so tingles.
I don't know if we end up with him or not, and I don't know if you can attribute him to him or not. But Jeremy Garrett, every single place he's been, the defensive line gets more pressure and more sacks. He worked with Myles Garrett for a year. I don't know if they family, a little nepotism, maybe not. I'm just saying, see if you can work some Garrett magic, get the trade in here. I'd rather have that than the sweat connection. But he was with Montez as an assistant defensive line coach. And I don't know if this you can attribute it to him or the D-line coach. But Montez went from 7 sacks, or I'm sorry, not Montez, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett went from 7 sacks to 17 sacks.
Yeesh.
Now, maybe that's just Myles Garrett. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a little bit of Myles
Might
Garrett.
just be Myles Garrett. It might be a little bit of both. But after he's left Myles Garrett, went to college as the defensive line coach, defensive line, more pressure, more sacks. Went to a different college as the defensive coordinator, more pressure, more sacks. Everywhere he goes, it continues to improve. And to me, I think the conversation is, I'm confident in Ben Johnson because of Dennis Allen, because of Jeremy Garrett, because of Al Harris, like all of these other names where it's like,
the people
it's not hey, what if he does this? No, he has done this.
Proven track
When
record.
you talk about the guy who, Deron Bland was what? Where did Deron Bland get drafted?
Oh, I think he was in the later round.
5th round?
I think it was 4th or 5th.
Deron Bland was 4th or 5th round?
I think 4th or 5th.
I want to say 6 almost. Somebody let me know in the chat.
6.
No, I think it was 4th.
Because wasn't he the one that said that got all the pick sixes?
That was the interception.
Deron Bland?
Yeah, that was him. And
Yeah, he was a later round pick.
His rookie year. That tells me you can identify talent. You can see a DB that can go out there and cook.
Do something.
So, like, to me, I think 5th round. Shout out Molly Mall. Ain't you a Cowboys fan? Yeah, Cowboys fan. Shout out Molly Mall. I appreciate him just for rocking with us.
What?
I think you're a Bulls fan too.
167
I got a question for you. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Before that, though, we got 300 in the chat.
Oh, we do have a. Hold on, let me find the right one. It's not Horn. There it is. Over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat. 200. Over 300 in the chat. 300.
My question is, though, what are we paying Staley? Stanley, whatever it is.
Ronnie Stanley.
Ronnie Stanley. Stanley, the garage door opener. Stanley, the garage door opener. What are we paying him? What do you want to pay him? Because he's agent. What do we want to pay him?
I mean, he's only 30 years old.
Are we paying top of the line, or are we paying him?
He's 30.
Because we don't want to run into John Tate again. So we don't want him. We want.
I mean, listen.
So what are we paying him?
What is he coming off of?
To me, I think he's one of the best in the game.
He made no money last year.
I think you pay him as one of the best in the game. Now, I don't know if he is the best left tackle in the game, right? He's not making Trent Williams money. Who's at the top right now? Trent Williams at the top.
He makes $7.5 million.
In terms of like left tackles, or just
in terms of left tackles.
Left tackles.
Yeah.
We're talking about tackles. We're talking about left tackle. Left tackle is the most for most quarterbacks, because they are right-handed. Left tackles is the most sought after.
So you got Trent Williams, he's making 27. He's the most paid. Christian Darrisaw's 26. Laramie Tunsil is 25. Andrew Thomas is 23. Jordan Mailata at the Eagles is 22.
I'm giving my man 20.
You're probably in that range, 20 to 22, because he's better than Garrett Bowles to me at the Broncos.
How much is Garrett Bowles making?
20.
Yeah.
I probably got him 20-22 range.
I like 20. I'll take him for 20. But
now,
if you're talking 25,
now look, you also got to think the salary cap just went up. There's a lot. Also, you got to outpay. You got to make him lead the Ravens, and that's the part. That's the biggest part with the Bears are tough on.
Yeah,
like the Dolman conversation is different
because
because the Falcons literally just like
they can't pay him.
It's gut your team or pay the center.
Yeah, pretty much. They still got to pay Kirk Cobain.
And that's what it is.
The
Kirk Cousins contract makes it just about, unless you find a finesse. I was trying to find it because I was like, okay, how can the Chiefs pay Trey Smith? I was able to find a way for you to do it, right? You move some money here, you adjust a contract here.
I got a way for them
to
do
this.
Keep Dolman.
I don't know how the Falcons keep Dolman.
They can't. They can't.
This is
because even trading Kirk, you get the dead cap.
You get the dead cap. You can restructure his contract and trade him. The one thing the NFL has got,
you got to find somebody to get him.
The one thing the NFL has done recently that I'm like really interested in is how they've allowed them to restructure contracts. Deshaun Watson has restructured, like everyone talks about the money he supposedly made. They don't realize that he restructured his contract like 3 times.
Yeah, but
And so he still got his
they-
money, so to speak. But as
they-
far as the hit, it ain't as much as
They've
people
done it in
keep
bonuses.
saying.
but it's not about the hit as far as the restructure, but you have to trade him still. So you restructure it, but you still have somebody to want him. He didn't play well because come to find out whether it's valid or not, he had a shoulder injury.
Mhm.
The assisted in his decline because he was already a little bit less mobile coming off the Achilles. That the shoulder now killed him. So you got to think you got to find somebody that's
mobile.
you got right.
He wasn't moving much.
Yeah,
Right, wasn't moving much. So you
yeah,
gotta- so you got to
moving.
find somebody that's even willing to take a chance on him with the deferred money.
But here's the thing, and this is not the defense of him because I think he fell off a cliff. But before that injury and
He
everything
was
like
okay.
that,
He was
broke
mid.
Matty Ice's record.
He
in
was
a
mid.
single thing.
He was mid. Hey, they
No,
was
he fell off
they
the
was what
cliff.
7-3. They
What?
was 7-3.
I mean, the dude threw like 4 picks in one game.
Hey, bro.
I mean, it was bad.
Hold
bro.
on.
I mean,
Hey,
listen,
hey,
it was
Before the
bad.
injury-
chat.
Before the injury,
Chat.
he was
Hey,
7-3.
hold
I
on,
think, right, bro?
Bro,
Was
he
it
was
7-3?
cooking.
Hold
He was
on,
cooking.
hold on.
Whoa.
It is
Whoa.
Thursday,
The 27th.
27th,
Yeah,
February 27th at
Yeah.
6:38. You said Kirk Cousins has fell off a cliff.
He fell off a cliff.
Okay.
Now, here's the
Okay.
thing.
You
If
heard
it's
that?
I
injury
heard it.
related,
Drew, you heard that?
if it's
I heard-
injury
I heard
related, the
Chat,
one thing
y'all
I do
heard that?
believe is
All right.
he's serviceable enough if it's only injury related and not mental. Because if it's mental, he's shot. A QB that loses his ability, his confidence like that, that's kind of like the Carson Wentz thing that you'll never get that player back. If he hasn't lost his confidence, I can see the Jets making a move for him. I can see those teams like that making a move
It's
for him.
still incredibly
That's a
difficult
lot.
to pay Drew
Because
Dalman
what
what
was
he's
what's his
worth
contract? What's
to
his,
do that. He's
Now,
making-
why would the
is it
Falcons want to
45?
do it?
What is he at 45?
I thought it was
It's
thought,
40.
right.
It's 40.
Is it 40?
It's
No, it's escalator next year.
No, it's 40.
Yeah,
They paid
no,
him.
it's
They
escalated
gave him a
next year.
40. Well, y'all let y'all figure out in a second. But the reason why, like, if I'm the Falcons, I will fight tooth and nail to keep Dalman. I'm not saying that they should. Is you got Michael Penix, and if you believe he's gonna be,
they on the way.
if you
they on
believe
the
he's
way.
gonna be who you think he's gonna be, and I think Michael Penix was honestly as a passer one of the best passers in
No,
that draft.
I said-
for
Yeah,
sure.
see, they,
But
they,
so
bro,
but
they
the,
in
but the
hell,
difference
bro.
with with
You
Penix
can't
though,
give up
'cause
your
isn't
center.
he left hand? He's left
He's
hand.
a lefty.
He's left-handed.
So that rotates. So your center is definitely still important, but it puts more emphasis on the right side because he's left-handed.
Yeah, Penix right side is more important. That don't change center.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
That
Like I said,
don't
it
change
doesn't-
center.
it
You
doesn't
still
change-
gotta
it
snap.
doesn't
Nah,
change-
he
it
got a
doesn't
couple
change center.
snaps and they started
outside
to
of-
cook a little bit.
But it changes the dynamics of the line a little bit more. So then, therefore,
Not-
they might be able to.
But
do
Hey,
you
not
need
really.
your center though, and so it's like, yo,
He's mobile, though.
I'm pairing him with because like if you get rid of the center now, you have this hole there that you can't fill, and you got this rookie QB or
Well, they can
sophomore.
fill it. They
Just
got
not with
draft
somebody
picks.
good.
They got draft
They
picks,
got
so they can
draft
fill
picks.
it.
They got draft just like we did. We got draft. Either we fill it or draft. So it's basically,
Yeah.
Like if I'm Atlanta, I'm fighting to keep.
And it's crazy because
That's what's gonna throw that,
I
and that's gonna ruin our free agents.
have
No, but because I think here's the thing. One, you can't fight hard enough for me not to overpay you. That's what free agency is. I'm overpaying. Right? With in the
mistakes.
Ronnie Stanley conversation and the Drew Dalman conversation, no matter what,
Mhm.
I'm overpaying.
So let's stay there.
like
What are you willing if Pat's GM in this? What's Pat's a response to Atlanta trying to keep him?
how much are they trying to keep him at? Because they're not gonna tag him.
'Cause
So
the
they
mid-
got to get a contract.
So the middle. So what's the market from like 20?
So you're talking about 11 to 18 million, probably.
What's the best centers in the league pay?
Well, he ain't the best
He's not
center
the
in the
best
league.
center.
isn't it?
He's
Too
Hey,
late?
the best
hey.
center in the league. He's just the best center available.
Isn't
Best
it-
center in the
isn't it too
league.
late to tag him? I think
No, it's not too late to
'Cause,
tag him. They
uh,
just tagged Trey Smith today.
I know, but I think this was one of the last times you have to tag him by a certain
No,
time
March.
frame.
Is it March 10th?
Is it just 3 days
it's March
before
10th.
free agency or something like that?
I gotta look it up. I don't
It's
know.
supposed to be
what
like
the
some
tag
rule.
Because I
is
know
on it.
it's a date that you have to tag him.
But you
by.
can tag him just to get a contract done. Franchise tag deadline 2025 is March 4th.
That's next week.
It's next week.
So I said you got a couple more days.
But I think even with that, they don't want to tag him because they're gonna overpay him. They can't afford to overpay. What I'm saying is the Bears, right? Like he's probably going to get. I think if he is the open market right now, 18 is a solid number to start at for
Oh,
him.
I'll take that.
Yeah, you might be in the 20 to 25.
Man,
range,
fam
though.
getting 25 messing around.
You might be in the 20 to
25.
25.
I'm not at 25.
Your starting center making 25 is
So
fine.
No.
top centers right now. Frank Ragnow,
Yeah.
Ryan Kelly,
How much Frank Ragnow make?
13.5 a year.
Creed Humphrey, who hasn't got paid yet.
I'm about to say, I'm like, hold on now. There ain't no way.
Creed Humphrey is.
Creed Humphrey got paid.
He got paid.
Oh, did he?
But he's
Oh,
18.
yeah.
His is 18.
That's what
Man,
I'm saying. 20.
This can't be real.
Like I say, 20
Hold
because
on.
centers is not your highest paid line. Your highest paid line
Creed
is your
Humphrey-
left tackle.
No, your left tackle and your right tackle. No, but
Right.
you also have to deal with the fact again that the cap went up. So you're probably
How much
talking about
inflation?
Creed
How much
Humphrey
is
is making
inflation?
18.
Oh, so they
Frank Ragnar's making
Deservedly
13.
so, yeah.
Lloyd Crusherberry making 12.
Frank Ragnar making 13,
So if
bro.
we
That's
sign
wild.
Dawg, man, we
Yeah, but
should-
Frank
Whoa.
Ragnar 29. He
Yeah.
about to re-up.
Yeah.
Everybody about to re-up.
So you
Oh,
so
he's-
you saying
yeah,
the
yeah.
Bears? Are you wanting the Bears to reset the center?
It's not about want to. It's you don't have a
You
choice.
don't got a choice, bro.
Your other choice is you go after center in the draft.
It's a premium position. Like
Not-
these are
but it's
these are
not.
premium
Center,
positions.
center is not premium. Center is
No,
always needed.
No,
but it's
but
not
see,
premium.
here's the thing.
not
Center,
considered
center,
premium
center
now.
is premium to me because nobody touches
to
the
you,
football
yes.
more than the
Yes.
quarterback.
Yes, agreed.
And
the cerebral-
it's a position that you haven't had.
I agree.
You
but
have
as
to
far
you
as
have
numbers,
to get that right for the quarterback. As far as numbers go, right?
As far
if
as
he-
numbers, though,
but see, here's the thing:
it's not
if
premium- it's
Atlanta
not
says
premium numbers-wise.
we'll pay you 19, if
give him
because
22.
you
I
got
want to
you
go 25.
well you got to think it's not just us bidding, right? If San Francisco comes in, who I think his dad played for San Francisco, if San Francisco comes in and says, hey, we want you to get we'll pay you 22. Now you got to go 25.
They got Matt Hennessy. over
God,
there.
man. Then we resetting the market by 7.
You're
8
resetting the
million.
market no matter what, whatever you pay him.
Yeah,
It's-
no, that's what
it's
I say.
free
20,
agency.
22. Because usually when you set the market maybe
He's
a
also
couple
26.
million more.
Can I just add this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't care about setting the market.
I don't
I'm-
either.
You
I
want to
don't
know, and
either.
it's not against you because I hear this all the
It
time.
will hurt you though.
It can hurt
if you reset the market and you got to re-sign your players and right, you get a young left tackle that's coming up for contract and he look down the line and he go, well, Drew making 25.
I truly
I'm a
believe
left tackle.
but that's what Matthew
I need to
Stafford
be
is looking at
making
now.
30.
You don't get what
Quality is cut.
56. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't get what you're worth. You get what you negotiate. And
Yeah.
so right now, there is a need for center on several teams. We see what happens when you don't have a good center.
Yeah.
I got you by the gonads right now. So realistically, you're going to have to pay a premium for this position of need. How far are you willing to go? And that's just kind of it. Doesn't have to necessarily like for instance, at one point, running backs broke the market.
Yeah.
Look at what happened a couple years later.
It falls back.
It always it's cyclical. It's going to happen again. It doesn't mean that just because you overpay today that's going to be the standard. No, you just say no. That's all that happens.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones knows all about that. So I mean, like it doesn't matter. But right now, you need that position.
It's a wild
It
joke.
is. I definitely agree with you, but but to me is that you have to put everything in perspective. Like, yes, not saying that you're wrong at all. Center is definitely important, but you can't if you give me your center who's not as good, let's say we got Dahlman and we got Staley. We'd agree that Staley is a better offensive lineman than Dahlman.
Yes.
But if you're paying Dahlman 25, now you got to start paying Staley 27.
And
28.
again, don't hear me. I don't want to pay that. I just think you also have to contend with you're not the best spot. We can feel good about Ben Johnson. We can feel good about Caleb Williams. We can feel good about Antoine Randall. We feel good about all of these guys. Why do we have them? Because we were a 5-win football team last year.
You know, I disagree
you don't
on
think
that.
we're a premier
Dean.
spot now?
I think
No.
our
Okay.
coaching staff.
You are still a 5-win football team. If I am trying to if I'm coming from the Ravens,
Yeah.
why would I look at the Chicago Bears?
Yeah.
Even if I'm coming from the Falcons and I know the people that are going to be coveting me are a better football team than you, why would I look at you? And it's cold there. I'm coming from Atlanta.
And that's why, but remember, I've always said when it comes to free agency and you trying to get like the big money dudes in the building, you gotta convince me to, hey, I'm in Baltimore. We're gonna be playing into the second round every year.
Now we're gonna lose in that
Now
round.
we're gonna lose in that round. We might lose in that round, but why am I coming to Chicago? Because you gotta have all the talent that you want to, but I mean, there has to be a reason for me to come here and stay.
Shout out Gucci Finesse. I think this comment is on point. It's a good spot with the right pay.
It's a good spot with the right pay. And let me say this: it's a major market. Chicago's a bigger market than Atlanta. It is,
but so San Francisco.
Now that's different.
My thing is,
like
you're
San
not in
Francisco
a bidding war with Atlanta. Atlanta's
Atlanta's
dead in this. They out.
I don't think San Francisco's in this conversation for Dalman, but if they were, I mean, but if they are, like seriously, but they also they got to think about paying Brock soon, stuff like that. We got a lot more flexibility than they do when it comes out. They got some people they got to worry about paying.
Yeah, but you know who else need to start in center and got over $100 million?
San Francisco.
The New England Patriots.
Oh, New England Patriots. No, I'm not going to New England. Why is New England a better situation? Hey, listen, Brady ain't walking through that door.
If I give you stupid money, I got stupid money to spend. If I give you stupid money, like I think that's the thing, right? You're going to be contending not with just people that want the player. You're going to be contending with some guys. And the Bears had the 4th highest payroll right now. Yeah, they can still cut people and still put you in a good position. But again, why is here a premier spot? We're acting like people are like leaving teams going, you know where I want to go? Chicago.
The only thing I have to fight against that is, again, if you said this previously, we still have the same people here, then they'd be like, yeah, we're not that attractive. We signed 1 or 2 people and you got the, hoorah going there. We overhauled the entire thing. We got we have one of the best coaching staff on paper, at least in the NFL now.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That's why you would come.
Nobody's seen.
So you mean to tell me
this is on?
I'm a top 3 largest market in America. You have a better coaching staff. And realistically, if you win in Chicago, you're not just a legend, and you are a god.
Yeah. But see that word word you said, if you want to know what happens if I go to San Francisco,
you're one of
we win.
What they win?
We go 2 Super Bowls. We win 10 plus games a year. We put ourselves in great positions to always be in the conversation.
Not to mention the contingency plan is in place. They got Jennings. You got Ricky Parasol. You got Guerrero. You got
Garendo.
Garendo. You got
that man just threw a Mexican name out there. He didn't know what they doing.
I didn't know how to.
Guillermo. What the?
Isaac.
That was low-key racist.
They got the contingency plan in place. So let's not sleep on San Fran just because they had a down year, and they still got the defense coming back.
Yeah,
as well. So
I think that goes into the conversation that we were talking about, right? Was your confidence built up by Ben Johnson speaking at the press conference? Was your confidence built up by what Ryan Poles said? I'll tell you what, I got a little nervous when he said, when playing the position helps you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, no,
I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I ain't got no comment on that, but
DB,
the one thing.
Dang it, I didn't know Ryan was a DB. Ryan got it. Yeah.
Hey, man.
I missed them coverage years. Yeah.
That threw me off.
He was dominating in coverage.
Ryan Poles doesn't come off with as much confidence as he had the years prior. I think that's a little humility in him.
I think he learned a lesson.
I think he learned a lesson.
Yeah.
That changes things.
When that mug said it's going to be hard to make this team, and then he ran a $23 million offensive line out there.
Yeah. I think he's just eating that humble pie now, and he's just like, because it has to work. If this don't work, he out of here.
Yeah.
If he don't have success now, no matter what, Ben Johnson gonna be here. He ain't gonna be here, right? Realistically, and that's all about how he drafts and stuff like that. So I have confidence that the people that they empowered Ben to go out and get, the people they opened the checkbook for, we have the right think tank to make it successful. And I think that's going to be the saving grace in who he drafts, who he scouts, and stuff like that. If he really leans on that think tank, he's going to be able to really be the individual we think he can be. If he does his own thing, if he Ryan Paces this joint, if he just decides to go Mr. Trubisky when everyone's telling him not to, guess what? I don't know what to tell you. We're going to have a really good looking team. He probably even wins GM of the year again, right? Just to get fired 2 years later because he did the wrong thing. I don't know. But like realistically, like it's all about how much he leans on the people he brought into the room.
I think you're just in such a different situation, right? It's almost the Myles Garrett conversation. It's why Pat, people keep going, Pat, why do you want to just spend so much money on this? Because I think you got it right with the quarterback. When you talk about last season, when you talk about everything this young man went through, when you talk about him not having people that were there trying to help him develop, when you talk about Matt Eberflus being voted the worst head coach in the NFL, somebody who didn't listen to what the team was looking to change and the input that they were trying to have, when you talk about going through 3 different coordinators in a season, like quarterbacks, I've seen quarterbacks do all of that. And they have failed consistently.
Yeah.
Justin Fields in 3 years went through what Caleb Williams went through in 1.
Facts.
And I don't think that you broke the confidence in this kid. I don't think that you broke the mentality in this kid. I'm hoping that he don't see ghosts. But like, to me, if you got this young man and you see what he was able to do his rookie year, and your whole thought process isn't, we spending money this offseason.
We got to.
You miss it.
But you know what? I honestly, what I think is that, yeah, my confidence has, I'm not saying it's grown, but it hasn't wavered as much because he has admitted his fault. He said, I overvalued certain things last year. And when he admitted that, he was like, not the fact that he thought he was smarter than what he is, but he thought that Caleb would be able to overcompensate more than he should have, or even been put in that position too. So I think he learned his lesson. So I'm not sure if I'm not sure he's gonna overpay, but I definitely think he is going to change his mindset to be more efficient. And a more efficient GM makes more wins. I
think the problem is he's been incredibly efficient, right? How he restructured DJ Moore's deal was perfect. How he's going about acquiring some of these talent is perfect. I think he's done a great job being efficient. Problem is,
he missed the most.
You're not using the efficiency once you create it. You created all this extra money for you to go out there and be able to sign somebody, and then as we just watched all the people sign other places, hey man, we really got Coleman Shelton snapping football.
And this man was like, we need a line.
Worst case scenario, right? Like and I think here's the concern too, right? Because remember what the plan was last season. Coleman Shelton wasn't supposed to be the starter.
No, he wasn't.
Coleman Shelton was supposed to be the backup.
Yeah.
Ryan Bates was.
Do not feel like, oh, well, now we get to reset this. Ryan Bates is healthy. Let's start the season with Ryan Bates there. Ryan Bates make $4 million. Spend the money to get the best. You got a young man that's already balling right now. Go find a way to spend the money to get the best that's out there.
I also want to know, what is with everybody in this whole thing of not spending money? Like we get to roll it over.
Like we getting the tax money. Like it's hitting our pockets.
Like y'all do realize that you got to spend some of this money. You can't just sit on it. You got to spend this money.
I just want to be spent smartly.
I mean, I respect that.
Well, I think here's the thing.
But the names that we throwing out there, Myles Garrett is a smart investment.
But I
don't know about 2 picks or 3 picks is what you said.
What you say?
No, I said.
What did Cleveland say?
She said the price is. Courtney said the price is 3 picks, but
3 picks of what?
3 first-round picks.
Oh no!
But she thinks that they would accept 2.
Oh man!
She thinks that they would accept 2, and which essentially is the Khalil Mack deal.
That's a 3.
Can I ask you and Drew a question? If it was TJ Watt and TJ Watt said he wanted to trade to the Bears, but it was 3 picks, you doing that?
No.
3 picks.
No.
3 first-round picks.
I'm not giving up 3 first.
TJ Watt.
No, 3 first rounds.
TJ Watt.
3 first is 3 years.
That's
3 years.
3 first. See, I'm about to take a shot because I'm about to go to Wayback Machine.
Oh boy,
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm just.
We gave up. Not 3 first, but we gave up a lot when we did the Jay Cutler trade, and it set our drafting back and our team back so many. Yes
and no. We also were terrible at drafting.
I don't know.
It did, but
I don't know about that one.
We was terrible at drafting, but it didn't help that we didn't have first-round picks to get first-round talent. With us giving away all the picks, it made us rely more on our scouting departments to get talent in the later rounds where it's important to get the first round talent because your later rounds fill up your team, but you need first round talent to really excel. And when you're giving up 3 first round picks, unless it's spread out over a long period of time, which is usually not, it's not easy to retool and to keep competitive. So I don't want to roll back into a Jay Cutler type trade where you lose 3 first rounds, 26,
I can't-
27.
I
and
would
28.
I would still do it for 2 just because of the caliber of player that we're talking about.
2 is different though.
The only person that's ahead of him is TJ Watt. He's in his division.
I don't think he's ahead of him.
Yeah, but I'm also not giving you. Yeah, I don't think he's ahead of me. I think he's just on a better football team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got one for you, Ringo.
I think Myles Garrett's the best defensive edge rusher.
It's pretty even.
I got one
It's
for you,
pretty even
Ringo.
there.
So you give up 3 first rounds, and you end up having nobody to protect Caleb. You end up being the Cleveland Browns.
But see, you going with the
Cleveland Browns.
You going with
this
the
way.
order, right? I think that's the thing.
He asked us if you
No,
give
no,
up 3.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
you give
the
you
question.
mean we get no O-line this year. We got no O-line in the first this year. We're giving up our 26, 27, and 28. So are we not going to still have these same holes if we giving away our first round pick this year?
I think it's the same conversation on the 2 picks, right? Like everybody's freaking out. I was like, you can't give up this year's first and next year's first and all this draft capital to go out there and fix the line. Yes, I can, because I'm telling you to go spend money. I'm telling you to overpay for
Free
these mugs.
agency, baby.
I'm telling you to get these mugs in the building. Go get 26-year-old Drew Dolman. Go get left tackle might be a little bit interested, right? But even then, I still have second-round picks. I have 2 second-round picks. So I still can address the offensive line. There may be a Gray Zabel down there, although he's flying up the draft boards. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I got to package those picks to go get somebody on the offensive line, I only sign one guy. Right? Like, hey, I'm not telling you to not build the offensive line. I think people are sitting here saying, well, you have to get this guy with 10. You can't risk this pick. When every scout right now is telling you this draft is a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
And
It's going to be some good dudes, and you can find the best of the best in them dudes, but it is
between 10 and 30. They say
After
it's the same.
Carter,
it really
this
is.
year.
It's
That's
been
this year.
like that before.
You giving up
this came out.
right? You give that's this year.
That's this year.
That's this year.
So this year, I give up my first. I get 14 sacks out of Myles Garrett.
And that's fine. So what happens when next year is the
When
supremely,
next year
the
comes-
supremely talented and your 28 is supremely talented? Because if you think about this year,
I still got second round picks.
This year is because you're 3 years in college. This year is the end of those COVID years. That's why the talent is a little bit less. That a lot of them people didn't play. So now you got the people coming out after them COVID years is now going to excel, and you got no picks. I don't want that.
If I can,
But see, you saying no picks.
We don't have no first round. First round is talent, bro.
First round is talent.
First round is
But
talent.
if you good at your job, and I got Myles Garrett getting 14 to 17 sacks.
If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Well, listen,
you can't
I'm gonna tell you,
three. You can't
Drew, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you bad at your job, you ain't gonna have no job. So that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation to have there.
The real conversation with the whole Myles Garrett thing is the or part. It's the 2 picks. I mean, and part. 2 picks and. What is that and? That and is linked to a player.
That is, well, no, probably
Potentially.
more picks. Probably, I mean, the Khalil Mack trade was 2 first round picks, a third, a future 5th, and a 6th, I think. You know what I mean? Like that's a trade I'm giving up for Myles Garrett.
Now, the reason
because also Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett.
Well, and Khalil Mack is actually going for free agency, or might be in free agency. We'll see how the Chargers handle that with the new cap. But still, the Courtney Cronin said a player, 2 picks in a player.
Well, she just said and.
She said 2 picks and potentially a player. That was what
I mean, it could be a potential player.
So it's like, who is that player? Because that dictates what you give up and then who you draft and stuff like that.
Listen, if it's Jalen Johnson, have a nice life.
Ooh, man, I can't do that, bro.
Why not?
No.
Man,
Jalen Johnson
killing me,
DJ
bro.
Moore.
I think y'all
Bro,
overvaluing.
Bro,
If
it's
it's
a
Jalen
DB.
Johnson,
You want to know what happens when DBs get pass rushers? They become better DBs.
Yeah, because they only got to cover. They only got to cover.
You want to
for
know
2
what
minutes,
Myles
2
Garrett
seconds.
can create?
2 to 3 seconds.
Better DBs.
I just think we got one of the best DBs there.
I hear you.
So I think I kind of want the best DB.
You want
with
to
one of
know
the best pass rushers.
You want to know when
I just want that, dog.
Hey, you want to know when I can live with it? When Myles Garrett turn whoever else standing back there into a better DB, Tyree Stevenson, get your head locked in.
Nah,
you ain't gonna
I
have to
can't.
cover
See,
that.
that's
long.
what I'm talking about. I can't get rid of Jalen Johnson. I got this guy over there flipping off the crowd when he needs to be focused. I can't
Okay,
do that,
Kyler
baby.
Gordon, better DB.
Commissioner
By the
Gordon.
way, whoever you draft, better DB. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. Myles Garrett creates these dudes.
They do.
How
He
you
does.
think them DBs in
Let's say, what-
Cleveland
let's
finna
say-
look?
let's say, because Ward was good, but when
When
Miles
you
made
got
him
Myles
great,
Garrett,
Yeah.
made him great.
now I'm one of the
Yeah.
best DBs in the NFL.
So-
You want to know why? Because all I got to do is say, "Huh? Well, oh, he quarterback dead. All right, let's get back over here."
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, both of those players locked down the whole position.
I mean, I hear you, but I'm saying if it's 2 firsts and they call and they say Jalen Johnson,
Sam Donald,
Done.
Sam Donald, even with Justin Jefferson, is still thinking about where's Jalen Johnson.
yeah, they just moved Justin Jefferson to the other side of the field.
I know. I'm just saying though, like he commands that much respect. I
I
can't give
give up
that
two.
up.
I give up 2. I wouldn't give up the 3.
I'm not giving up 3. I'm not giving up 3 first round picks.
2. I
give up
can
2
do.
first
I
round
can't
picks.
do 3 though.
I'll do it for
How
sure.
soon?
I do.
How soon into free agency does this become a real thing?
Now,
I think it depends on.
What you mean,
So
Myles
like-
Garrett?
So like the Myles Garrett thing is interesting.
They're
and it's-
talking about it now.
now,
It's
They're,
interesting.
they're talking about it now.
When you hear that is facts, Joshua. I just threw a name out there because that's the best name on our team. Why would they want a DB? They do got plenty of DBs. But when you hear at the combine, we're not trading them. But if we did, take a couple first round picks.
Oh, they trade them. They know them. You ain't got
Yeah,
nothing. You ain't got no choice.
they always do that.
You know what I
before
mean?
the combine.
That's really what it is. When you go, we're not trading him, we're locked in, he's going nowhere. But a couple first round
did.
picks, a little third action.
well,
They're trying to
Tree,
recoup
bro.
that Deshaun Watson thing.
They're trying to
but-
recoup the
yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
The combine is the All-Star game for GM.
Well, the combine is the pre-tampering period to the
Yeah,
tampering
yeah.
period.
Like I said, the latest right before we started the show, the latest was that Myles Garrett's representative was talking to the GM of Cleveland tonight to figure out how they move forward. So, best case scenario, we know something by midday tomorrow, whether it's potential for them to trade or not.
He gonna be traded. He gonna be traded.
I think. Hey, listen, I just hope he don't get
I-
traded to the
I-
Eagles.
I'm not gonna lie. I hope they give.
Bearforth
I
said,
hope
"Here
they
go
give
Pat
him this
trying to
pick.
trade for Chase Claypool again." Boy, you sound crazy. You calling
What?
Myles Garrett Chase Claypool?
All
Hey,
right.
we should block you.
That's
just
right,
because,
We need
bro.
to cut him.
Yeah, we gotta get him out of
We
here.
gotta get up.
Hey.
Yeah, that's
We
that
we
right
can
there.
finish off though.
It's
On
called
the last
Myles
topic.
Garrett, Chase.
I know,
Oh,
that's-
don't worry about it.
that's-
It's Bulls topic. We can get up out of here.
No, we can do it for a little bit. Just a few minutes.
You want to do the Giddy topic?
Hey,
Get
Drew.
it.
Hey, Drew.
Get it.
Hey, Drew.
Yes, sir.
How much
Actually-
does Giddy? How much Giddy make?
He don't make nothing now, but I don't know if he.
Get make nice money. Hey man, appreciate y'all tuning in. Show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page,
Exactly.
leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll get into that when we come back on the show, man, because we already over an hour. I think we had some really good conversations. Sometimes you got to leave them wanting more.
All right. Yes, sir.
They don't
Yes,
even
sir,
want
boss.
Giddy.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all for rocking
Nice
with
try,
us.
Giddy.
As always, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page for the pettiest man alive.
You
Mr. P. Kid. Man, formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan Adon. Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, you do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.
Peace.
I'm still just waiting for Stefan Adon to see me on this Madden though.
Bro, I'm trying to figure out how that
Plus,
man.
anybody
you-
in the chat
no,
want to get
you
it in
see-
Madden, you know where to come.
Bro,
You pull up
all I'm saying.
on me.
All I'm
Wait a
saying.
minute. Did y'all ever do that Madden thing?
No, we
Y'all
gotta do the
supposed to
2K
Gotta
joint.
do the 2K
We gotta do
first.
the 2K joint.
But on Madden, we finna see it. Hey, Baki, I heard that you get down. Go ahead, text me. You finna get this work today.
Bro.
Finna put cases on all you.
All I'm saying is that man said Myles Garrett
Yeah, bro.
is Chase Claypool.
That's not even close, bro. That's such horse manure.
That is such horse manure.